Live video stream at 560theanswer.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Mike Mannequin runs the Democratic House floor for 30 plus years running. He's promising this and he's stealing that. Where can you get that kind of money? He's using your house like his own piggy bank. You ought to know by now. You can pay off your house here in Illinois, but you can never keep up with the taxes. Oh, how it's always been the plan to have a taxpayer pay, no doubt. Not a matter of if anymore, but when you're moving out. I said, when you're moving out.
Dan and Amy, good morning. We've got our latest property tax report regionally. North and North Shore, Cook County. Property taxes driving home values south. Before they fled Illinois, skyrocketing property taxes. Harold and Janet Shea purchased their home in Inverness for $885,000 in July of 01. It's $1.28 million today. Today's dollars, constant dollars. So that's 2001, 1.28. 4-bedroom, 5-bath, 1.5 acres. Custom touches such as 3-zoned HVAC system, heated garage.
Nice.
They're ready to leave it all behind last May. They listed for $939. Remember, they paid $1.28. We're talking constant dollars here. They listed for $939. They finally sold February 15th, just last month, $754. Paid $1.28 18 years ago. They sold for $754. $526,000 loss. During that time, 15 years roughly, they paid $245,000 in property taxes. Last year's bill was double what they paid when they first bought the house.
How much did they pay last year in property taxes?
Nearly $20,000.
Okay.
$20,000 on a $754,000 house.
That's a lot of money.
Substantial.
That's not proportionate to what's going on in my neighborhood, but
But by contrast, they sold for $754. The $20,000 tax bill. They bought a 2-bedroom, where they moved, Avon, Colorado. There is a 2-bedroom condo currently for sale. $742,000, substantially the same price.
what's the property taxes though?
Yeah, that the
That's going to
Shays.
make us move west. Yeah.
$742,000 in Avon, $754,000, $20,000 in Inverness, $742,000 in Avon, $2,700 tax bill.
I mean, that's just such a huge difference.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
How about Kenilworth? 33 North Cook counties we looked at. 14 have effective property tax higher than the state average, which is more than twice the national average. Inverness and Kenilworth actually top the list. 3.12% is the property tax rate as a percentage of home value. That's nearly 3 times the national average. Let's do a Kenilworth one. Larry and Susan Miller's 6-bedroom Georgian, 1 block from Lake Michigan in Kenilworth. This has been on for sale nearly 2 years. They're asking $3.295. The property tax bill last year was $58,000. 2 blocks away, Kenilworth, asking $2.875 million. Property tax bill $64,000. Median sale price over the last 6 months of 2018 in Kenilworth, $858,000, down from a peak of $1.77 million in 2007. Yeah, 2007 top of the market, but $2.197 million really is in constant dollars. Top of the market in 2007, but think about this: $2.197 million in 2007 median home sale price in Inverness. In 2018, it was $858,000. That's almost a 3-fold reduction.
Wow.
In 12 years. Pretty substantial. Here's the deals. Inverness, Kenilworth, about 3% plus effective tax rate percentage of home value. Bartlett, Palatine, Buffalo Grove, Glencoe, Streamwood, Prospect Heights, Elgin, Hoffman Estates, Barrington Hills, Hanover Park, Rolling Meadows, Schaumburg, Mount Prospect, Wheeling, Arlington Heights, Roselle, Elk Grove Village, South Barrington all have property tax rates as a percentage of home value twice the national average and above the state average. As somebody opined, all those liberals, particularly in the North Shore, who have the "hate has no home here" signs, should replace those signs with "equity has no home here." Here, and I was having this conversation with a friend of mine who's an attorney on the North Shore. He's like, I read your property tax stuff. I listen to you talk about this home values impact. I talk to people, and I think they just don't want to confront it.
No, they just roll it into their mortgage. Oh my God, what do you call it? So they don't even see their property tax bill.
No, I think
a lot of them don't.
No, I think what he's saying is they put their heads in the sand. They're taking the ostrich approach to this problem. They are either fatalistic. I don't think there's anything can be done, so they don't want to think about it because it's upsetting. Or they are locked into that home, so they can't go anywhere. So they just have to sort of hope against hope that things get better. But they don't want to confront the problem. It's remarkable. I don't know if that's what they suggest to their children as well, that the way to deal with problems is to ignore them and hope they go away. But that's essentially the posture that's been taken by so many. Because this isn't a new story. So people know. A lot of people know. More people know than admit they know.
Even if they escrow their taxes, you still get a property tax bill to your house. But still, yeah, they just ignore it. You're right. They don't want to know.
They just
sometimes I don't want to know either.
They don't want to deal with it. They know is my point. They don't want to deal with it. I mean, is that what you see? 312-642-5600 turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA turnkey.pro text line. I don't want to deal with it because I can't do anything about it, or I'm just going to be hopeful that things get better somehow, some way. Meanwhile, I'm going to vote for the same things to ensure they don't get better. Remarkable. I don't get it.
Crazy.
Oh, by the way, there's nothing you can do about it? Yeah, I mean, there's municipal elections on April 2nd. You know, like school boards. I mean, there's a big referendum in Hinsdale. You going to vote against your home equity again in Hinsdale?
And that's April 2nd?
Yeah. Actually, it's not not vote against it again because Hinsdale turned back the school referendum, District 86 referendum in November. And then the school's coming right back at you in April to try and
do it again?
Pass it with a different, smaller electorate. So are you going to just say, oh, there's nothing I can do? Well, there are things you can do. There are things you can do every day and every election cycle. And I don't just mean, yes, put your house on the market. I get that.
And in an ancillary issue, but still about property taxes, Maria Pappas, the economic guru that she is, Cook County Treasurer came out yesterday saying that if you don't pay your property taxes, your home stands a chance of being auctioned off in May. May 3rd is the deadline.
Well, yeah.
Here, ready
tax
for her
sales.
quote?
Yeah.
For whatever reason, there are more parcels this year on the tax sale list than there has ever been ever before. Gee, I wonder why. More than 3,000 of the 57,000 properties, Dan, are in Alderman Kerry Austin's 34th Ward.
Tony and Roselle, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, I was just trying to plug in some constant dollars for my home purchase 18 years ago. What does 175 equate to in today's dollars from the year 2000?
I'm busy, so Dan will have to do the math.
Maybe it's 275 to 300, somewhere in there.
So I'm actually underwater as well. My taxes have doubled. Interesting.
Roselle's effective tax rate, median sale price $232,000. That's 2018. Median sale price $232,000. Median tax bill $5,100. That's 2.23% of home value. Thanks for the call, Tony.
High. That is ridiculous.
Jeff in Berwyn.
Greetings, Dan and Amy. Your previous caller, he wants to know how much. Go to the Bureau of Labor Statistics inflation calculator.
No, okay.
Also, the way you kill Governor Doughboy's graduated income tax scheme, tie it to the repeal of the clause in the Illinois Constitution that prohibits reduction in public employee benefits and pensions.
Well, yes, that would be a way to kill it. Thanks for the call, Jeff. Unfortunately, that amendment to whatever the Democrats proposed in the General Assembly would not be voted out of the General Assembly for the 2020 ballot. So they're just going to go ahead and leverage their supermajorities to put the straight-up graduated state income tax on the ballot. We don't do the spend reform piece. We only do the revenue increase piece. And again, this is there's nothing we can do. Nothing will change. It's funny, the Democrats don't take that attitude, do they?
No, they don't.
Nothing, anything on the spend side, that's not possible. That's never going to happen. Anything on the extraction side, of course, that'll happen. I mean, do you understand the culture that says, of course, they can amend the Constitution, graduate state income tax, tax retirement income, financial transaction tax, city income tax. Of course they can. Oh, yeah, sure, that'll happen. Anything on the spend side, that's impossible. I don't even want to think about it. I don't understand that attitude. It's just crazy. We can't do anything on the spend. 1% hard cap on property tax. That's ridiculous. No. Crazy talk. All those other taxes I just ticked off, driving people out of the state? Oh, sure, of course, that's possible. Even likely. Nick in Willowbrook.
Hey there. Just calling to let you know the good news. Going to medical school in Des Moines, Iowa in July, and I have no plans on coming back if they don't change the financial situation around here.
No?
Good. You'll love Des Moines.
I will.
No, really, you will.
Forward to it.
The Riverwalk School, it's a nice town.
What kind of doctor are you going to be, Nick?
I'm thinking maybe anesthesiology or a urologist, but okay. I don't know. We'll see.
All right, very good. Good luck, Nick. Thanks for the call.
Thanks for listening. Good luck to you. Go Hawks.
And that's an example of the brain drain that's real. The brain drain is real. Young, successful guy going to be successful doctor. Susan in Frankfort.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Good. You're looking about the houses that are very expensive up north. You go out south to where I'm in Frankfort, and you've got $100 million high school that sits there that is not being utilized at all. The politicians, nobody knows what to do with it. Then you go over to Park Forest, which is a struggling town. You've got homes there that are $60,000 with a $5,000 tax bill.
Oh, yeah.
You go to Flossmoor. It's absolutely ludicrous because you think about the person that's going to qualify for a home that is $60,000 is a much, to me, that's someone that's just starting out, and they don't have a lot of cash. $60,000, that's, you think, wow, that's a great price for a house. And then you slap on the tax bill and the house becomes unaffordable. Because of that, the entire town is either rentals or Section 8s. I mean, it's just, the town it used to be, I want to say, an exact surely, but it used to be it got voted like town of the year or something along those lines. And the taxes have gotten so bad, nobody wants to live there. I personally lived there in Park Forest at one point, had a house for $80,000, sold it for $85,000. The difference in tax bill in just 6 years went from a $2,000 tax bill to a $4,000 tax bill. It doesn't sound like a huge amount, but when you're talking someone that's probably not making an income much more than about $60,000, that's a huge income. My husband and I were very blessed. He got a better job. We moved to Frankfort. Thought, great, life's good. Then they built this beautiful school, Lincoln Way North, and it's sitting there doing nothing. There's all these other schools that have infrastructure problems, and what does our school board does that nobody pays attention to? They go and they close the school and make all the kids go to the older school that is 65 years old, and now we've got this beautiful school that just sits there. That makes sense, right?
Yeah, Susan, thanks for the call. We've talked a lot about it, but that's a great story, personal story about the migration from South Cook County, which has been destroyed, the Southland, destroyed by property taxes and concentration of Section 8 housing. And now it's happening everywhere because you can't run away from the math. So you can't hide in Will County just like you can't hide on the North Shore or anywhere else. But that's exactly right, that story. And then, again, the school districts, right? Most areas, that's the supermajority of your property tax bill. And do you want to help Zach model manufacturing executive trying to fight the fight in Hinsdale. Nutrier Neighbors trying to fight the fight on the North Shore. There are organizations and people that are actually putting in the fight. You don't have to do this alone. You don't have to be the only person out there, but you have to contribute. And as I've said before, as long as you're going to stay for as long as you do stay, why not put in the fight? I mean, it's worth it, isn't it? Is your home worth it to you? I don't know. Get some of these knuckleheads off your local school board. It's not even an R&D thing. It's a, based on the merits thing in these nonpartisan local elections. Don't say you can't do anything. You can do something. Dave in Lamont.
Yes, sir. You asked the question, do people stick their heads in the sand concerning this issue of the skyrocketing property taxes on houses? And in a certain way, I have to admit I do, because, where I live, I happen to be a bricklayer. I built my house. It's personal to me. I like my neighbors. There's a hill I jog up and down. It's my community. I know people. I know the mechanic. I work in the Chicago area. It's home.
Yeah.
And really, just to speak the emotional component of this, if I really think about it, with these skyrocketing property taxes, you know what they're doing to us, working people? They're stealing. They're stealing. They've declared war on us. They're stealing. We work our whole lives to pay off our houses. They're stealing it from us. And people, God bless policemen, firemen, school teachers. This is not against you guys personally, but the organizations you work for at the very top, the politicians, because of the pension problem, they've declared civil war on us, a financial civil war. And it's to really think about it and confront it, it's so upsetting. I don't want to go there, so I'd stick my head in the sand, but I'm going to have to go there. I'm going to have to join an organization that fights these taxes or something. I mean, it's terrible. It's a crime against the citizenry. That's what it is.
Well said, Dave.
Thank you.
Well said. Thank you. But I mean, that's it. So if it's a civil war, it's not going to be much of one if there's only one side fighting. Just something to think about. I don't know what people want to do. Illinois baffles me. I got to tell you. Sean in Elmwood Park.
It's heartbreaking, isn't it, when you hear and you realize the devastation to working people? And the reality is it's a shame, but we have no ammunition because the system is corrupted. It protects itself. It's hard to realize you're a slave. But we're slaves. We have no representation. Where are the Illinois Republicans? This is the same theme that this station has and other stations that realize the problem. The people like Dave who are working for their houses and are being robbed have no way to fight back. You're going to join an organization. That's great. We got a bunch of miserable people in a room complaining, and you're still helpless because Durkin is cleaning the lint out of his belly button as he's waiting for his corrupt checks to roll in. This is why you have no alternative. Let the bank take it. See who buys it, because there's nobody at the other end. It's kind of like that kid, anesthesiologist or urologist. Pick the right end, kid, because one needs gloves.
Thanks, Sean.
And I was going to ask him if he was going to be a proctologist, and I'm like, I'll leave that alone.
Yeah, great medical advice for that. Yeah, Craig in Mount Greenwood.
Hey, Dan, Amy. Hey, listen, I've got a guy at work. We were just talking about it. He had a house in Joliet and everything. That $4,000 taxes. He sold it. He's bought a house in Arkansas for $135,000. Bigger house, 4 acres, and everything. That about $500 taxes. He's out here. My son, was a plumber in Chicago and everything, that making $100,000. He just sold his house just in the last month. Sold his house in Oklahoma and everything. Moved to Michigan. I'm in the process of talking to my wife, talking her into it. We're looking to get the heck out of here because all the the taxes. I mean, and you can't sell your house at a profit anymore. Yeah, they're ruining things.
Thanks for the call, Craig.
You're listening to Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560.